All right, welcome back to Indie Worldwide. Today we're talking to Ganesh from AI Hello. They're already profitable at over 15,000 in MRR. They're growing fast, 40% month over month growth. They've got a fully remote team of 13, and they're planning to scale immensely in the next 2 years. So if you want to find out how they're planning to get to 150 million um, in valuation in just the next 2 years, or how they got to the 15K MRR that they're at now, profitable with a team of 13, well, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out. Let's get into it. All right. Well, welcome to Indie Worldwide. We have with us Ganesh, founder of AI Hello. How's it going, Ganesh?
Hey Anthony, how's it going?
Can you give us just like in a sentence, what is AI Hello? What are you guys working on?
So we automate the PPC for Amazon because running your e-commerce store on Amazon is a really big pain. There's more competition, and if you put up ads, it takes a significant portion of your budget is taken up by ads and the bids. So what we do is we predict what your bid is going to be for a keyword and how much is your profit, and based on that, we make a reasonable bid for your products.
So this is for store owners on Amazon selling direct, like advertising directly on Amazon. You're going to improve their ads.
That's correct. Yeah, we improve the ad cost or the ROS.
Right on. When did you start working on this? When did you launch?
We launched approximately a year ago. The initial few months was just, select sellers that were interested in us. And before that, of course, we were more into, warehousing and shipment, but I jumped on this PPC because it was a really big pain even for us. We sell on Amazon, and ads are really, big pain. So we decided to jump on it last year. We published a few sellers on it. And then we really went, full speed in the Jan of 2021.
What's your revenue right now, roughly?
My revenue is roughly around 12 to 15,000. Because we have a different modes of revenue, different currencies of revenue. We also published on AppSumo. We get money through PayPal. We get money through Stripe. So roughly, I would say, and we have different currencies as well. So USD, Euro, Canadian dollar. So roughly, we would say, you would say we're around 15K.
15K USD. That's excellent. For 1 year, how big is that team?
Roughly around 13 people. We have 3 people on contractors. We have 2 salespeople. We have, a backend, 2 front-end guys, me including full-time. We have a
Are you
AI
profitable
intern.
right now with
Yes,
13 people
definitely.
and 13K?
Yes,
Where's your
for
team
sure.
based out
Yeah.
of?
My team is based out of Vietnam. A lot of them are based out of India. 2 are from US. Most of the salespeople work on a commission basis. There's a small amount of base pay, but we work on commission basis. But the last few months we have been, as we expanded, our revenues has gone up considerably. We have been growing, in the last 6 months at a bare minimum of 40% to sometimes, up to 500% per month growth.
That's excellent. You're really a global team too.
Yes, for sure.
How did you go about recruiting people from all those different countries?
The good thing about the backend and the front end devs, hiring tech people is really the hardest thing, and I say it as a dev. So these 2 people were someone that I worked with before. They are, ex-IBM engineers, someone that I worked with before, someone that I know for a lot of years. So they have been helping me for the last 1 year build this. The salespeople is someone I recruited off Angel List.
Solid. Where are you like finding the people though? Are you going on Upwork, or are you like putting out job ads?
What we do is I try to do something different. I try to get interns and get them to work with us for a couple of months, and I pay them whatever they want for the internship. And once the internship is over, if you have 4 or 5 interns, then I choose the best one among it, and then I make them a job offer. It's like, would you like to work with us for full time? And I usually know at this point of time I'm comfortable working with them, and I know what their work style is like. And most of the time they say yes, they're happy to work with us for a full time. So I think a significant recruitment came from our internship program.
Right on. I know a lot of companies really struggle with recruiting, with managing remote
Yeah.
teams. Is there anything you've learned so far about how to make a remote team work well together? How do you deal with all those different time zones?
I, with couple of weeks back, we just finished installing our open source software on our team, that helps you track the time. So, users can go in and choose what customer they're working on and how much time they are building it. So tools like this has definitely helped. We went from Slack to Microsoft Teams. That also really
What's the
helped.
name of that open source tool, real quick?
It's called Kimai, Kimai, Kimai.
All right, cool.
I'm very budget conscious, as you must have realized. I try to spend, as little money on software as possible. And we also have Google startup program. So what we get is we get almost indefinite, infinite CPU and, virtual machines. So any software that I want, I try to find a self-hosted one, put it on there, put up Let's Encrypt and try to run it on my own. So Kima is something I install on my computer, and I give it out to all the, to all the employees,
Nice.
and they can track the time over there.
Is there a time limit on those credits? You get like a year, right? Or is it until
Yes,
you use them up?
it's a year, but we got an extension, for one more year because our revenues were growing, and we spoke to the Google Cloud, and then we decided to extend it by one more year. We don't really need that much resources. They gave us, 120K per year. We use roughly 40 to 60K per year.
Solid. So what happens after that? I guess you need your revenue to be at least that much by the time your credits end so that you can keep paying the bill, right?
It's going to be a significant chunk of our revenue. So I assume it's going to be $1,000 or $2,000 per month for hosting. Close to half of it is because of our AI platform runs on a GPU. So there's a huge amount of CPU and GPU being utilized. So I'm dreading the day when the credits run out. So I try to forget about it. It's just like that. I don't think about it right now.
So to dig into the AI a little bit, is this like a custom model you've built? Are you using GPT-3? What's going on under the hood?
So it's mostly a time-based forecasting because we have keywords, and then we predict what is going to be the bid for that keyword in the future. So it's all number-based. So plain LSTM, we used the best resource tool that we used was the Facebook Prophet. That did really good, and based on that we used LSTM as well. So we put a competition for both of it for each of the client and see which one performs the
What
best.
does LSTM stand for?
It's a long short-term memory. So
Okay.
it's able to predict the future really well based on there's a more weightage given to the short-term memory, and there's a bit of a weightage given to the long-term memory. So based on that, it can create patterns. If there's a keyword, for example, snowshoes, then it knows that during the winter, it is going to go up, and during the summer, it's going to go, the trend is going to go slightly down.
What were your data sources that you pulled in to be able to make these predictions?
We have been selling on Amazon for quite some time, and what happened was in the initial few months, I published this app for a really low price, and I almost gave it away in App Store. So we had plenty of users, and our machine kept learning from them. And as we built up the trends, we have a wisdom of crowds. So based on this, because our rough GMV right now is the amount of orders that flows through our system is around $180 million worth of goods.
Wow.
So as we learn, from this, as the system learns from this, it becomes smarter and smarter. So any keyword you throw at it, it can give you a reasonable forecast, a reasonable, accurate forecast of how much it's going to be, what is the seasonality going to be for that keyword.
So the more customers you have, the better predictions you can make.
And the better it is for the customers themselves.
That's a really great moat, like a really great flywheel for your product. The more customers you have, the better the product is going to be. The more customers you'll gain.
For sure. And I hope, it never ends because as more and more customers come in, we don't want to keep it as a niche, just for some sellers. We want to kind of democratize this whole AI process that people can come in and can know if this keyword is going to be profitable or not before they start selling. If it's an ad network, they don't tell you if this keyword is going to be profitable or not. You spend some money and then you learn. But on the other hand, what we do is using AI will tell you how much money you're going to spend and how much you're going to sell for the future. So you can decide if you want to sell this product or not.
It really sounds like you're giving your customers an unfair advantage here. Like people who use your software are going to have such a better visibility on their ads, such a better idea of what's going to work or not without putting that money in up front.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. And I hope the unfair advantage keeps on continuing for all these users. There's never we build a exclusivity around it. So we don't want to, go down the path of exclusivity. We just want to make it, open and democratic. So any customer that comes in, they can get a visibility into how their products are going to perform.
You'd have to charge customers so much more for exclusivity.
Yep.
Definitely doesn't feel like the right move.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. When we started off, we started off really, really cheap. It's embarrassingly cheap. And then we realized that we kept on pushing the prices because, our GP prices went up and we are dreading the inevitable moment, when we're going to lose the Google credit. So we have to keep on pushing the
Right.
price. And we realized that people are happy to pay, as long as we serve a purpose to them.
Yeah. I guess basically Google was subsidizing your price at the beginning, right? Because
Yes.
the compute was free, but
Yeah.
you cannot soon you have to pay for it, so it has to be profitable to do
Yeah.
every query. Otherwise, that's not a
Yeah.
great business.
For sure.
How did
Yeah.
you grow at the beginning? Was it all AppSumo? Did you have other channels?
We got really, kind of lucky. So we got published on the Amazon App Store. I think 80
Ooh.
to 90% of our traffic comes from Amazon App Store. And
Mm-hmm.
we got really good reviews on Amazon App Store as well because we gave it at such a low price point, and then we were on one-to-one basis with all the customers. We'd get on a call with them. So they would leave us good reviews as well. And as the reviews picked up, as the App Store picked up, we got a significant chunk of it. We're also trying to get into Google Ads right now, but we are an ad optimizer and we are trying to get into
Yeah.
Google Ads. So it seems kind of ironic. It's not working as well as we want it to be, but hey, that's ads.
So a couple points I want to dig in on there. We'll get back to the Google Ads bit, but first, the Amazon store. How well do you rank on that store, and what are the factors that have led you to do well there? Do you think?
So the ranking in Europe, in India, in Asia, we are really at the number one position. We are really at the top.
For what section or what
in,
keywords?
in Amazon advertising, like in the category, regardless of if you just open it up in organic. If you check the category, Amazon advertising, so we're really at number one. In US, I think we're at number 3 or number 4 in terms of ranking. The Amazon App Store is a bit different when it comes to the sellers. It's not the usual app store or the Amazon.com. So they have a separate store built just for sellers. So one thing that helped us for the ranking was getting access number of users in the initial few months. So really low price point, really personal touch to all the customers, helping them solve a real problem that helps us get good reviews.
And just kind of like incremental improvements, and you climb
Yep.
up the ranks. So maybe give us an idea, how much traffic does being, say, number 3 in the USA drive?
Yeah.
How many clicks are you seeing from that? How many new signups?
It's embarrassing. I don't check how many clicks. I check how many people sign up.
That's fine.
And I used to check, how many people sign up. Right now, I just check how many people pay. So roughly, around 9 to 10 people sign up every single day just from the Amazon App Store. And on an average, one person starts paying every day.
Right on. So about 10% conversion from people that actually check. So you have is it like a freemium model? Is there a free version and then you convert from there, or what does your pipeline look like?
We used to have a freemium model. So our pricing has changed considerably over the last few months. We used to have a freemium model. So right now we are completely off the freemium model from September. And what you do is, you log in, you pay the credit card, and then we start optimizing your campaigns. This helps us, keep the serious people in. I know the common wisdom is that give a free trial and then see if you like it. But because we have to give a personal, attention to the people, and what we notice is the freemium model gets a lot of people who are not interested. A lot of the time people want a job in Amazon warehouse, and they would register on us and they say, how do I get a job? They would get on a call and how to get a job. So we notice that if you ask for payment upfront, then it gets us the right person that are really interested in our product.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to filter at the beginning. You're really not interested in people that can't afford your product. Those aren't your customers. And their feedback is useless at best, dangerous at worst. So good on you making that filter up front, saving yourself time.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. And the common wisdom on the internet, whether I read from VCs or whether I read from, entrepreneurs, is give a free trial, let the people test it out. That is, they always insist on that. And my answer is, it depends. It depends on your product. For everything, there's a truth, and there is, a different kind of truth, that fits you. So for us, the free trial is not suitable because we want quality customers who can afford. So we're really at the premium, level right now, where we charge, a bare minimum of $500 a month. So we want to make sure that the people that we talk to are really, have real problems that they are facing.
I think that's where you want to be. You're a B2B product. You're selling to businesses. If your copy
Yeah.
is good, they know what they're getting into. They really don't need a free trial to figure out if your product is something they could use or not for
Yeah,
your business.
for sure. Yeah. So they should know the pain point themselves, before they click on the register button.
Yeah, free trial I feel like makes a lot of sense if you're like prosumer or consumer facing,
Yes. Yeah.
and you're going for a broad market. Your audience is so specific. There's really no reason to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good part actually. If your audience is specific enough, you can put a credit card as a filter and make sure that you
Yeah.
get the right customer in.
Maybe we can circle back to the Google ad stuff. So you're
Yeah.
a PPC company. You're trying to improve ads for people on Amazon.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about your own ads?
We try to publish on Google, and we try to publish on Facebook. What I do is I calculate what is the long-term value of a client, and I see if I can, get people for less than that amount on Google Ads. It did work out. We find, for 30 to 40% of our LTV, we're able to find customers on Google Ads. Unfortunately, more time needs to be spent. And in bootstrap startups like ours, it's always a time scramble. And it looks like, we're doing everything right. But once you step into the company, it's hate to admit it, things are everywhere. We have to focus on Google Ads, we have to focus on Facebook ads, we have to focus on our specialists, we have to focus on the sales team. And it looks like I'm doing 12 different things at the same time. So Google Ads is something I said and I forgot about it. I'll revisit it, when the time is right. But it's not optimized at all.
If you're making sales at like 30% LTV, that's pretty solid. You're making a healthy profit on those sales, assuming that you can profitably service those customers.
For sure, but it's also, the complexity is because we cater to worldwide, we cater to India, we cater to Europe, we cater to US. I haven't broken down on Google Ads, like what kind of customers sign up and what is the real LTV, because the full LTV of an average customer on our product is 450. But for different countries, it's different. For Europe, it's slightly higher. For US, it's slightly lower. And for India, of course, it's maybe $100 or $120. So you have to break it down by country, and then you have to check on Google Ads if you're spending that much for that particular country. So there's a bit of a finesse involved in it, which, I haven't reached at this point of time.
Would you be able to extend your Amazon product in order to also write your Google ads for you or your Facebook ads?
It's something that I thought about. It was something on our roadmap, but we decided to take a different route, for Google Ads. We don't want to optimize Google Ads because Google already has some kind of automation built into it, where it can reduce and increase. I don't know how well it works, and I've never seen anyone use it. But there was some on a roadmap, but that's not something, we're going to build with, something we abandoned.
Yeah, it seems like regardless, it would take you some time to build that expertise that you already had for Amazon in order to be able to build a product that works there. But it does seem like a natural progression for your product over time once you've grown to a certain size within Amazon, which is already a very large market. You have these other ad channels that you could potentially be working on, or maybe just buy somebody else that's already doing it once you're ready to expand and conquer.
For sure. We have enough data to do even for Google Ads. So it's something we could look into it, but right now our hands are full with just the customers that we're getting. Honestly, we're getting so many customers every single day that it's getting hard to manage them. So once we're saturated with Amazon, just like what you said, we might look into Google.
So speaking of expanding and conquering, what are your goals for this next year?
Well, we have a 2-year plan. And the 2-year plan is to bring the valuation to $150 million. It's in a sad way, it's become a personal vendetta. So we want to be at a $150 million valuation in 2 years, and we're pushing for it. So far, we're on track. But I think I'll take a breather when we reach this $150 million valuation.
So 5x multiple on ARR, is that how you're calculating that?
I did a 15x multiple on ARR. It depends on the growth, right? I mean, yeah.
So
does that sound reasonable based on your,
potentially, it depends on your growth numbers, how fast you're growing.
Yes.
What is your, so do the math for me. What's 150 divided by 15? Is that like 1 million or 10 million?
No,
3?
No, it would be, 3, right? Yeah. 3 million
3 million ARR, and then what, like 200% growth or something like that? I'm not really sure
per
what the
year. Yeah,
calculation would be.
that's what I'm shooting for. Actually, we're looking for 4.3 million ARR, and with our growth rate, we plan to be around 150 million, roughly 150 million, 132 to 150 million.
So how do you think that you'll hit those growth numbers? How are you going to be growing like 100 or 200% per year for the next 2 years? Where is that per month, actually?
I think it would be around 200% per year growth.
Okay.
What we're targeting right now is we're targeting at least 20% month on month growth. But so far we've been growing 40%. And internally, our plan is to reach out to the higher value customers and, move up the value chain. And what we want to do is we want to absolutely reach the 4.3 million ARR by within 2 years. So once we reach that, and with our, consistent growth, we should be able to reach a valuation. So valuation is something that we can't decide, we can't control, but definitely the ARR, the annual revenue is something we can control. So we're trying to reach, the 4 to 5 million annual revenue within September 2023. That's our kind of a hard target that we have set.
Right on. Do you have an exit strategy in mind? Why that figure?
Yes. Yep. So what I want to do is, because it's something that, at this point of time, what I'm thinking is either exit this business, by selling it to some kind of a company. We already in touch with some of the company, but it's too premature to even talk about it. But at this point, I think it might be too optimistic to talk about it. But yes, definitely, sell it off to some company that might be interested in buying us.
It makes perfect sense. I could totally see you being acquisitioned. I could also see you getting to those figures that you're trying to get to, raising some capital through debt or through venture, and then buying up other ad sellers and becoming the monster.
Yep, for sure. So the reason why I didn't fully think of acquisition is because we're growing so fast. I'm very optimistic about our growth. Right now, this company feeds around 13 employees, and we're all happy with it. And it pays my bill. It's 85%, is a profit margin after paying off everything.
Wow.
So I'm happy I'm making a change. I'm happy, we are supporting so many people, and I work from home. It's an easy job. Sometimes I take a RV, and I work from the remote places. So I'm pretty happy with everything. So if I decide to put it up for acquisition at the end of 2 years, it's going to be kind of a life-changing experience for me. So I still haven't confirmed to it.
Yeah, I mean, those are really solid numbers. You're growing gangbusters. Looks like you're really doing amazing. It sounds like a lot of your secret sauce is having been able to build such a cost-effective team. $13,000 per month in the US buys you like a single engineer, but here you have a team of 13.
Sure.
So you're obviously doing something right on that front.
The secret that I learned is what to do is the goal of reaching 4.3 ARR is a team goal. And for most of our senior engineers and for salespeople, it's something I also learned from MailChimp. Is they didn't give out any equity to the early employees because they never had in mind to sell. On the other hand, we start off with the mind to exit at this particular ARR. So all these early employees, what I offer them is offer them an equity plan and say, okay, this is something that we have to reach into it, and make sure that you get at least this much money at the end of 2 years. So don't make it for the company business, but make it as a personal goal. I want you to reach, for example, $1 million of, a lucky money of a lottery ticket, at the end of 2 years. So work towards it. And the people are, really dedicated. They like this goal. So they're working towards it. So they don't mind, the minor pay that is coming through as long as they reach the equity goal.
So everyone's on the same page. Everybody's thinking long term. And everybody's working to the same goal.
For sure. And we also offer success fees. So every time, the sellers on board and we get, sellers on board, we increase our revenue. A part of it is just like dividends, we pay out to all the employees. So the base pay is, of course, low, but they get money depending on how many customers sign up.
Are you fully bootstrapped to this point? How did you have the capital to start this?
We had a bit of a capital to start with. We are almost, bootstrapped because we went through an accelerator. We got around 10K or 12K to start off it, which, I blew it on the wrong things. So you can say almost 100% of it is bootstrapped. We are not VC fundable per se because this business is not something that VCs would be interested in.
Why do you say that?
It's a different kind of business. It's like PPC automation just exclusive for Amazon. So far, what I've seen, none of the VCs are interested in this field. We applied to YC. That was really the saddest, rejection that I got. Was they sent an email saying that you'll be valued at max 150 million. So this is not something we're looking at. We're looking to reach a valuation of 1 billion, which they are right. Like we could probably never reach a valuation of 1 billion, and I'm not trying to reach a valuation of 1 billion. So for me, 150 million is the target.
All right, Ganesh.
Yep.
We're talking about aihello.com. Any parting words for us?
Yep, I love the the 100 in 100 challenge, and I hope you have one more challenge coming up. I'm excited to take part in it, and I love what you're doing for the community. It's something similar to what we do for Amazon sellers. You're doing for the indie hackers. Always happy to be part of it. Anywhere you need help, I'm happy to help you.
Right on. Keep a lookout for that. If you're not on the Indie Worldwide community Slack yet, it's indieworldwide.co. Ganesh, thanks for coming on. You're killing it, man. Can't wait to see you in 2 years hit that $150 million valuation, sell, and then you can fund all the other indie hackers in the world.
Perfect. Thank you, Anthony.
All right. Have a good one.